Hi team, Blake here, and today we're going to answer the question, how do I get clarity on my financials? So look, this next piece of advice is going to be one of two pieces of advice that we give at the Hive that get ignored the most. And what that means is when people ignore the advice, it's not that actually they don't agree with the advice, it's often that they're just scared of the change that they need to make or some of the actions that they need to take to get the results they want. So the first piece of advice that often gets ignored is we say to people, always be recruiting, always be on the lookout for new practitioners, because even that person who's been with you for a long time may unexpectedly leave just because they need to. Anyway, that's another story. But the second most ignored piece of advice is to get a bookkeeper. So how do you get clarity on your financials? It's really simple. You've got to get a bookkeeper. And here are the three things that you've got to ask for from a bookkeeper. Number one, every single month, you need to get your profit and loss, you need to get your cash flow statement, and you need to get your balance sheet. Now, these three things might seem like bizarre, or they might seem like something you don't understand, but to a bookkeeper, that's their bread and butter. And I say, like, why do your own numbers when somebody else has educated themselves and becoming an expert at getting your profit and loss, your cash flow statement, and your balance sheet? Just like you would say to people in your family, if you're an osteo, for example, and they say, oh, I've got a bad back, you wouldn't suggest that they treat themselves, you'd suggest that they go to an expert. And the same comes when it comes to financials. And look, bookkeepers aren't that expensive, but they're worth their weight in gold. And if you think hiring a bookkeeper is expensive, wait till you see how much devastation can be caused by not knowing your numbers. Because here's what normally happens. We normally spend 12 months of trading in our practice. And then at the end of 12 months, we give all the stuff to the accountant. And then it takes the accountant a little bit of time to do the end of year accounts. And so let's say a few months later, we're finally sitting down and we're looking at the accounts. And we're looking at some activities that happened from 18 months ago. And the first thing we do is we look down at the accounts and we go, oh, what's the profit? And let's say at the bottom of the page, it said £20,000. And we go, oh, I made £20,000 profit. But where is it? Where's it gone? And so it's important that we know our numbers monthly. If we know our numbers 18 months after it's happened, there's nothing we can do about it. We're not armed with the knowledge to be able to make powerful decisions in our practice. So we've got to get our data monthly. So every single month we look at our profit and loss, we look at our cash flow, and we look at our balance sheet. And if anything goes wrong in that month, we're only 30 days away from the decisions that caused that problem. And then we're able to react. And they say the only thing more stressful than numbers is not knowing your numbers. And it's so easy to do, but most people totally ignore this, is just to get a bookkeeper. They don't cost that much money. And in fact, what you invest in a bookkeeper on a monthly basis will reduce your accounting fees at the end of the year, because basically all the work will already be done. So there we go. Get a bookkeeper and ask for three things. Number one, profit and loss. Number two, cash flow statement. Number three, your balance sheet. Hope that helps.